सदस्य, मैं सदन गरिमा से चलाना चाहता हूं। मैं फिर आपसे आग्रह कर रहा हूं कि इस तरीके से सदन की गरिमा को गिराना कतई उचित नहीं है। सदन की कार्रवाई अनिश्चित काल के लिए स्थगित की जाती है। माननीय सदस्य, मैं सदन गरिमा से चलाना चाहता हूं। मैं फिर आपसे आग्रह कर रहा हूं कि इस तरीके से सदन की गरिमा को गिराना कतई उचित नहीं है। सदन की कार्रवाई अनिश्चित काल के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
Good evening and welcome to Breaking Views on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. You know, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the same story being repeated as far as the parliament and the working of the parliament is concerned. And that is why we are forced to once again ask the question, is it just an expression of dissent or is it deliberate derailment? And this time it seems by both the key players in this game. The Treasury benches, surprisingly, in the second half of the parliament session started with their, in fact, anger, outrage against Rahul Gandhi. And then, of course, which was entire session, almost entire session, this confrontation continued, which ended today with the Tiranga Yatra of the opposition. That's the key focus here on Breaking Views. In fact, this has been a near total washout of the second leg of the parliament's budget session. By now, this news doesn't come as a surprise for you viewers, as it has become predictable occurrence whenever a session takes place. Parliament, where discussions on bills and laws impacting all our lives are supposed to take place, saw exactly the opposite of debate taking place. Ruckus, chaos, and adjournment, and then this on repeat mode was the mantra. While both the Treasury benches and the opposition today blamed each other for this wasted session, can either remain unblemished of the responsibility? That's the big question that we will be discussing. Now, let me give you, in fact, some important data right now, to further the argument of how this has been one of the least productive sessions as far as the parliament is concerned. In the last 5 years, and I was going through the data at least from 2014 to 2023, the years of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, this has been the least productive session from 2018 to now. The other least productive session was 2018. 17 of 25 parliament sessions, sittings have been adjourned early. Only 6 bills have been passed in this session of the parliament. Only 45.9 hours of work was done in Lok Sabha. Only 32.3 hours of work was done in the Rajya Sabha. Finance bill, the very, very important finance bill, was passed in just 12 minutes without any debate. Disruption claimed almost 105 working hours of both the houses of the parliament. What have been the key sticking points, the reason for disruption as far as this session is concerned? The opposition's demand for the JPC into the Hindenburg report. Apart from that, the BJP and the Treasury benches, the second half was started with this, in fact, a ruckus on Rahul Gandhi's alleged anti-India comments. They wanted an apology from Rahul Gandhi and disrupted the session at the beginning. Now, Rahul Gandhi's disqualification right at the end also took a lot of space as far as the protests are concerned. Just for all our taxpayers, because it's our money, it's money that we give as income tax and other taxes that is used to run the parliament, just to give you a sense of how much money has been wasted in crores. Most parliament sittings have been scheduled for 6 hours. 150 hours were allotted over 25 sittings in this session. 1 minute of running the parliament cost 2.5 lakh rupees to the exchequer. 1 hour cost 1.5 crore rupees to the exchequer. Lok Sabha functioned for 45.9 hours. Disruptions claimed, as I told you earlier, 105 hours. So almost 150 crore rupees of hard-earned taxpayers' money has been completely wasted. Now, Before, in fact, all right, we have. I'm just digressing from this topic right now because we are joined by one of the newsmakers. In fact, today for the day, Mr. Anil Antony is joining us. We'll go back to our discussion in just a short while from now. Mr. Anil Antony, son of stalwart Congress senior leader, Mr. A.K. Antony, has joined the Bharatiya Janata Party today. He was sitting with, in fact, Mr. Piyush Goyal and other senior leaders of the BJP when he was inducted into the party. Mr. Antony, thank you for speaking to us. I want to start by asking you, sir, is this just the BJP not inducting you, getting you in, just at a moment to create news and, of course, to hurt the Congress party? You are being used as a PR campaign as far as the BJP is concerned. That's the charge.
This is a charge that I completely disagree with. This is a decision that I have taken after a lot of thoughts for 2-3 months. I was born in a Congress family. I grew up with a lot of Congress ideals as well as a lot of Congress values. For a short while I was even working for the Congress party as an office bearer for a short period of 3-4 years. But now the party has changed considerably, and this party is no longer prioritizing national interest or the country's interest. It is focusing on the interest of 2-3 particular individuals. And I represent a young India, which I believe is the biggest majority in this country, and I travel across the country, and I do not think that this Congress party has any resonance with the young people in this country.
So
at the same time,
right,
I have been, let me
go
finish. So at the same time, I have been looking at the Bharatiya Janata Party for a while. I have been following the party for a while, and at this moment I do sincerely believe that this party has a very clear vision to drive this country forward. Not even for one election cycle or 2 election cycles, but for multiple election cycles, for 20-25 years, for 2-3 decades, with a clear vision to transform this country into a developed country by 2047, an upper middle income developed country by 2047, and the party actually has a bunch of policies and plans which I think could bring tremendous, with a lot of technology integration, which is one of my core focus. There is a lot of technology integration. There are a lot of policies which I believe could create tremendous amount of social and economic mobility and social and justice.
Mr. Antony, let me ask you this.
So I looked at all this and I...
Sure. You said that you've been looking at the BJP for a long time, and you've also been the Congress for its vision at this moment. It's not in national interest. All that you have said before as well when you hit out at the Congress party. Why shouldn't it be turn around and the question be asked of you? Possibly you were not seeing your career being furthered in the Congress party. You were already looking at the Bharatiya Janata Party. You just used the BBC moment or the documentary to try and further your cause into entering the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's opportunism.
It is not opportunism. What happened was not planned in any manner. There was a documentary which came, which I completely, even now, believe that was an attempt to hit at India's sovereignty and integrity, and I raised certain points in one of the most mildest manner. And this is not the first incident. There had been incidents that has been going on for a while, where I do feel that the country was actually willing to compromise the core interest of the country for small time political gains. So I raised the opinion 2-3 months back. It was not with any intention in mind. It was an opinion I gave in a very mild manner, but things spiraled out in certain manner, and finally I resigned from the party. Then at that point of time I did not have any intention to join any party.
Right.
Just like I study Indian politics, I look at Indian political spectrum. There was no vested interest in mine when I quit. But in the last 2-3 months, I did put a lot of thoughts into it, And I think that this is the only national party that exists in the country which actually has a vision to drive this country forward.
Okay.
Which has a vision to uplift the people in this country, and therefore I did not join this party for any positions or titles or anything like that. I just came for a platform where I could work towards forwarding this country's core interests and contribute towards the country's national transformation. That is it.
The party that you have just joined has, at this moment has zero electoral presence as far as your state, Kerala, is concerned. How getting Anil Antony, who himself, as at this moment is a greenhorn as far as electoral politics is concerned, how does this help the Bharatiya Janata Party?
See, that is what kind of roles I will play for the party will be depending on the party leadership and not on me in any manner. However, you have seen in the last few years how this party has grown across India. You look at states like West Bengal, you look at states like Tripura, you look at states like Telangana, where the party had even smaller vote share than what the party has in Kerala right now. Right now, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the allies have double-digit vote share in Kerala. It has almost 14-15% vote share in Kerala. It used to be around 4% around 2009.
Right.
While you look at states like Tripura, you look at West Bengal, you look at Telangana, the vote share there used to be 1-2-3%, which became, let's say, 30 and 40 Assam, it all became high 30 and 40% very, very fast, and the party is fastly growing across the country. Now, in the last couple of months, our Prime Minister has made it very clear that Kerala is also in the party's main areas of interest. The party is putting a lot of focus in Kerala. The party has a strong organization in Kerala. The party has strong state leadership in Kerala. And finally, it is not about me. When people understand that this is the best alternative for them to contribute towards nation building, and this is the best.
May I request your indulgence, May I request your indulgence for just a moment? After you joined the Bharatiya Janata Party, senior leader of the Congress Party, your father, Mr. A.K. Antony, came out with a response to this. He has been a loyal congressman all his life. This is what he had to say. If you just give me a moment, we just would like to play it for our viewers, what Mr. Antony said on you joining the BJP.
2014 onwards, during the first Narendra Modi government onwards, they are systematically diluting diversity and secularism. Till my last breath, I will oppose all the wrong policies of RSS and BJP. I am now 82. I don't know how long I will be here. But I will, one thing I can tell, I will die as a Congress worker, is all.
It seemed that he was in a lot of pain when he made this statement. The party that you are saying is working against the national interest is the party that this man, your father, who has worked with the Congress Party for a very, very long time, wants to end his life with. He says that I will die as a congressman. Doesn't it hurt you today, sir, that you are pointing fingers as a party your father stands loyal to, even to this day?
See, my father is the person I have the deepest of love and respect for. Is the person along with my mother, I would say, are the two people I have the deepest of love and respect for in our lives, in my life. So this is not personal in any manner, but this is a difference of ideas, and this is a difference of viewpoints of where the country's trajectory is. Like I made it very clear, I represent young India. India is the youngest country in the world, where 65% is under 40. Median age is almost 27. And I can assure you, this current Congress Party, first of all, this is not the Congress Party which I have seen when I was growing up. This is not the Congress Party that existed even 20 years back. This is not the Congress Party that even existed 5 years back. This is just a party at this moment which has been reduced to just promoting the interest of 2-3 particular individuals.
That's not the view that your father shares. Do you somewhere regret?
Yes, of course. I don't
the hurt that he feels right now?
It is, no, so this is, see, it is definitely painful, but at the same time, the Congress party is not the future of this country. And that is not my opinion, it is the opinion of vast majority of young India across India.
I just have one more question for you, sir, before I let you go. The Bharatiya Janata Party, the party that you have joined, has hit out at the Congress party time and again, calling it a party run by dynasts, party run by just one family. You also come from a political family. Your father has held many important portfolios in the Congress government. Isn't there double speak or dual policy as far as the BJP is concerned? By all standards, you would also be considered a dynast now joining the Bharatiya Janata Party.
See, first of all, I have said again and again, I did not join the party expecting any roles or titles. I just came here expecting a platform where I can contribute towards this country's growth trajectory in some manner of my capacity and whatever roles the party think I could. So that is what it is. At the same time, for any young person in this country, I can assure you that the Congress party is not the platform to do that, because the party is not working for that in any manner. It is just working on individuals. So this is not a question of, let's say, first generation politician or second generation politician, third generation politician, there are many second and third and even fourth and fifth generation politicians across political parties in India.
Right.
And some of them are doing well, some of them are not. And so this is not about, let's say, generational politics. This is about what kind of politics you are actually practicing.
Okay.
And here in the Congress party, you have a party that is actually putting personal interest over national interest and public interest. That is the problem.
Sir, thank you so much for sparing the time. We wish you all the best for your new innings with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and we leave it to the voters and the young people of India, whether they share your view of what you are presenting as far as the BJP is concerned. Thank you so much for joining us here on NDTV. All right, that was Anil Antony, one of the key newsmakers, in fact, today, speaking about why he joined the BJP, and of course his father, still a loyal congressman. Like we were talking about, and let's just focus back, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, to the story that we were talking about, the Parliament. In fact, let me very quickly, without wasting any more time, go across to my guests, those who are joining me on the broadcast. I have Supriya Suneth, spokesperson, senior leader of the Congress party. We have Aprajita Sarangi, MP of the Bharatiya Janata Party, spokesperson. Aarti Jairat, senior political commentator, also joining us at this moment. Ladies, thank you so much for being so patient. I want to start with you, Ms. Sarangi, and the entire Parliament session virtually was washed out. For the first time in the history of the Parliament, ma'am, Treasury benches initiated the ruckus. Since the buck stops with the ruling party to run the Parliament smoothly, shouldn't the BJP today take responsibility of a complete wasted session?
A very good evening. Very emphatically, I would definitely like to mention that it is a combined responsibility of the ruling dispensation and the opposition to run the Parliament. I understand that the Parliament, this budget session has been a complete washout. We are aware of the fact that the budget session 2022 in the Rajya Sabha had 90% productivity, and the Lok Sabha in the budget session 2022 had 123% productivity. Compared to that, we are nowhere this time. But we have also to understand why this happened. And as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned and its allies are concerned, we are very clear about one issue, and the issue is that Rahul Gandhi had to beg apology. You know, he had to offer apology and no explanation. He wanted to speak in the Lok Sabha, no doubt about it. But the fact remains that he wanted to offer explanation. And that's why he wanted to stand. And we wanted apology. They wanted JPC. And we were very categorical that, the matter should be taken to the court, and it was taken to the court. 3 petitions were filed. Expert committee has been formed. And I think we need to await the report of the expert committee. Whatever the recommendations, I think the action would be taken thereafter. SEBI is an independent regulator. SEBI is doing its job. And
But they are two very different functions, ma'am. Parliament and court are two very different institutions with two very different kind of functions. But let me get in Supriya Srinath for her opening comments on this. Supriya Srinath, has this become, the Parliament has become an arena for electoral politics? Opposition trying to in fact make their political point on this, while the government seems to be, not relenting as far as the functioning of the Parliament is concerned.
It is not that the government is not relenting. The government is morally bankrupt. The government in its full force, along with the Prime Minister, other ministers, members of Parliament, is out to protect one man who's saddled with corruption charges, who's saddled with very grave charges of financial offences. And please, not for a minute can you dare to hide behind the Supreme Court appointed committee, because that committee has been set up for review of regulatory framework. Your agencies, the ED, the CBI, the income tax, the DRI, has to actually probe the allegations raised against Mr. Adani. And today, some very serious things have come to fore. Mr. Adani has a huge tie-up with Chinese firms. China that is threatening our national security. You allow that to happen? Aren't these anti-national activities that a firm is indulging in? These are very important questions. What the BJP does in retaliation, I am very amused by what Ms. Sarangi just said, that what Rahul Gandhi was going to speak. मुझे नहीं पता था आपने ज्योतिष भी शुरू कर दिया. Have you started astrology and tarot card readings?
Okay.
You should have given him a chance to speak. The reality is the BJP and the Prime Minister knew he will speak on Adani, and which is why they fixed a match. They engineered a result.
Okay.
They did reverse engineering and cancelled his and disqualified him as a member of Parliament.
Okay.
That speaks volumes of about how the BJP wants to run the house.
Okay.
The BJP is a pack of cowards, and that's what they are.
Aarti Jairath, we started with this question because ultimately taxpayers are watching. People are seeing this. It's our money being completely wasted. Parliament has a very specific job. I was going through the data from 2014 to 2023. It's not that even when the government claims productivity has been over 90%, there has been debate or discussion on many issues. How does this augur as far as the Indian parliamentary democracy is concerned?
No, absolutely, Ankit. This goes beyond the taxpayers' wastage of taxpayers' money. This is an attack on the very fundamentals of democracy. Because democracy is all about debate, it's about dissent, it's about, demanding explanations from the government, it's about, opposition raising issues on behalf of the people. This is what we want to hear from Parliament. And I think that, we are really destroying the fundamentals of our democracy by not allowing Parliament to function, whether it's because of the ruling party or it's because of the opposition. I mean, both are complicit in this. And, somewhere the stalemate needs to be broken. Otherwise, our democracy becomes a sham.
Absolutely. Ms. Sarangi, I want to understand from you. You are saying that the most important issue this session was apology from Mr. Rahul Gandhi. If it was such an important issue, ma'am, why was it that the BJP leaders, including ministers, came out after 2 weeks of ruckus, of diversion, of chaos in the parliament and said, if the opposition gives up the JPC issue, we will give up Rahul Gandhi apology issue. If it was so important, why was it being used as a barter to try and get the things, going as far as JPC is concerned? It will very clearly suggest that the government was using apology as just a diversionary tactic, ma'am.
Let me tell you very clearly that nobody should have that idea that the government, the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, who is charged with the running of the parliament, did not want the parliament to run. The fact remains that we actually ran the parliament till April 6. It was easy, very easy for all of us to kind of sit together and go for early adjournment. We did not do so. In fact, the parliament ran till April 6, and this needs to be acknowledged and appreciated. To say that the government did not want is far from the truth. Now, as far as the behavior of the Congress party and the other opposition parties is concerned, I think it is beyond description. If I can say, it would be no exaggeration. See, these people, the Congress people, decided to come to the parliament in black dresses. And don't you think that this is a humiliation of the parliament setup? This is actually denigrating the tenets of the constitution. And a particular MP, nobody has the right, more so a member of parliament, who swears by the oath of constitution, when he comes into the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, he would go out of the country and say things which actually brings down the dignity and demeans the status of the nation and the countrymen. So I think as
but ma'am, you used it as a barter. I mean, that's what my question. You didn't answer it. You used it as a barter that we will give up the apology issue if you give up the JPC issue. You wanted to use this. But Supriya Shrinet, can the opposition also completely absolve itself from the complete wastage of this entire session?
No, I want to first call out the factually incorrect and complete lies being peddled here by the BJP spokesperson, with all due respect to the Honorable Member of Parliament that she is. Rahul Gandhi, in writing, twice asked for time to speak. He met the speaker and asked for time to speak. He was denied that time. The speaker said, I cannot give you time to speak. You will instead have a cup of tea with me instead. What sort of bizarre arguments are you making here?
Can I come
Rahul Gandhi, no, you cannot. Right now, I'm
let her complete. Let her complete. Let her complete. I'll come to you. I'll give you time to respond.
Rahul Gandhi spoke about Mr. Adani on the 7th of February. He raised pertinent questions. Nobody from the government wants to answer questions on Adani, and on the 16th of February, a dormant case is revived by actually pulling out a stay application by the petitioner himself in Ahmedabad, and then he is disqualified. A combined opposition is protesting against how you are killing democracy. It baffles me that you are actually saying wearing black clothes is wrong. All over the world, including in India, wearing black is a sign of protest, madam. Welcome to reality. Welcome to an India where our DNA, where our bedrock of democracy is revolution. Maybe you don't understand that because you never participated in that revolution. But for now, remember, black is a mark of protest, and we are protesting against your anti-democratic practices.
Ladies,
get that right.
I seek your pardon. I'm sorry, we are completely out of time, ma'am. I'm completely out of time. I'm sorry because we had a newsmaker at the top, so we took a lot of time on that. I apologize to all of you for the paucity of the time on this debate at this moment. Thank you so much for joining me. The fact, ladies and gentlemen, this debate continues. Whether like the BJP, when it was not in the treasury benches, in the opposition, senior leaders like Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj said that this is derailment, or the disruption is also a form of democratic process. Is that the way we should look at these disruptions, or is it deliberate derailment to deny discussion on important issues pressing across the country? I leave it to you to think about the kind and the way the Parliament has functioned in this session. That's all the time that I have on this edition of Breaking News. News and updates continue on NDTV. Thank you so much. Good night.